Welcome to the Central Prairie Co-op Podcast, your go-to source for all things agriculture. Each week, we bring you expert insights, market trends, and real stories from the field. Whether you're a seasoned producer or joining us for the first time, there is something here for you. So, grab a coffee and let's dive into the business of agriculture from the ground up.
Good morning and welcome back to the Central Prairie Co-op Podcast. My name is Dalton Konen, and today I'm joined by Jeff Wagner. We'll be highlighting the Nickerson area and shining a light on Jeff's work and the team out there. Jeff, thanks for joining me today. Can you introduce yourself and tell us more about your role here?
Yeah, I'm Jeff Wagner. I'm location manager for our Nickerson location for Central Prairie Co-op. Been with the company about 5.5 years. I've had a couple different roles, but currently I'm location manager for the Nickerson location, as well as grain projects manager, so I oversee any new projects or existing projects that we have in place, as well as I've recently taken on a role of some of our insurance for the co-op. I come from an insurance background, and they thought I would be helpful in that, so...
Yeah, coming from the insurance world has definitely helped us out quite a bit, so that's very good. What's your favorite part about working here?
Well, probably my favorite part is just working with the employees and the farmers that are patrons of the Nickerson location. Most of the farmers that I've come into contact with, or I've built some strong relationships with them, and I got a good group of people right now. So,
Yeah. So what makes the team at Nickerson stand out?
Well, it's right now I have 4 seasonal elevator guys, and a lot of them will be going full-time here pretty soon. I've probably got one of the better crews right now at the Nickerson location, as well as the Beth Crow that's in our Nickerson office. She's going on about 5 years, and she knows all the ins and outs and gives me an opportunity to get out of the office every once in a while to go work on other projects and that, and I feel pretty comfortable leaving it in her hands.
Yeah, I think you've been pretty blessed this year to have 4 seasonal guys, and they kind of all worked out, and it's good to have too much help, right?
Yes, it is.
So what's something people might not know about this location or the community it serves?
Well, one of the nice things, or something not everybody may know, but that was an original co-op location for a standalone co-op. They had merged with, I believe 3 or 4 other co-ops down in that area before we merged with Farmers Cooperative Union and became Central Prairie Co-op. So a lot of the people that come to the Nickerson location are lifelong customers, and they expect a lot out of our location just because we're one of the original co-op locations.
Yeah, that is very important, and that makes Nickerson why it's so important to us, is because it was the main office before we merged. So how does this location contribute to the co-op's overall success?
Well, we just try to be everything we can to everybody. That's hard to do sometimes, but we try to provide them the services that they've always got out of the Nickerson location. And we try to take in as much grain as we can to help offset some of the expenses of a co-op. So that's been beneficial for the Nickerson location.
Yeah. Some of the biggest challenges your team faces here, and how do you overcome them?
Well, probably one of our biggest things, and again, being original location, it helps us, but there's a lot of competition to our south, north, west. There's a lot of elevators in Hutchinson, and there's a lot of elevators north of us that are competitors, and we just try to provide the services, the speed, and the efficiency to those customers to continue to keep their business. We recently did some expansions at the Nickerson location, and that was due in part to try to keep those people coming to their original co-op location.
Yeah, what all did we do over there at that location?
Well, we did the biggest things that we did was we put in a new 20,000 bushel leg outside. We put in a new 1,100 bushel pit. We put all enclosed drags upstairs in the elevator, which helps us with housekeeping and just keeps a cleaner elevator, which is very important for safety. Some of the other things we did, we added an outbound scale, which we're going to try to use more in the future. And it'll probably come into play a little more for weed harvest. But and the benefit about having the outside leg and pit is during fall harvest, especially because it gives us the option of dumping 3 different commodities at the same time and not have to worry about commingling grain.
Yeah, that definitely makes fall harvest a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
And the speed keeps the trucks moving. So.
Yeah.
How would you describe the producers you work with?
Well, I mean, the producers I work with, some are demanding, but I want them to expect that out of me. And the biggest factor that I come into play is one of the things I try to strive to is a relationship builder. That way, sometimes if price is an issue, if you provide them what they're looking for and the service that they're needing, price becomes less of an issue. And honestly, I've built some good friendships with a lot of the producers that we have that are patrons for the Nickerson location.
Yeah, it's definitely holding true to the co-op name and holding that community get together. What do you enjoy most about being part of the Central Prairie Co-op as a whole?
You know, probably what I enjoy the most about Central Prairie Co-op as a whole is I just like the people that I work with. There's a lot of good people in this company, and one of the things we strive to do here is if somebody's, let's say there's a location with a couple guys down, funeral, illness, whatever, we all pitch up and pitch in and try to help out as much as possible to get them through the day. And they'll do the same for me at Nickerson if I needed help as well.
Oh, yeah. Nickerson guy is not just a Nickerson guy. He can help out whenever he is needed.
Yeah, we're all Central Prairie Co-op employees, and we don't get a check that just says Nickerson location.
Yeah. Before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like your listeners to know about the Nickerson location or your team?
Well, one thing I always strive to do with all my employees, present and past, is I always want to make sure we thank that customer when they leave our location. I don't care if they're coming in to pay a bill, getting a tire fixed, getting a hydraulic hose, getting feed, whatever the case may be. My main thing is at the end of that transaction or service that we always are thanking them. One of the things that I always tell about the guys when we're during harvest is when they give that guy a thumbs up, I expect to hear thank you coming out of their mouth when that guy's leaving the pit, because everybody has choices on where they take stuff, and we want to try to go over and above to give them the services that they deserve.
Yeah.
Because one of the main things in everything I just said was I try to convince or explain to my employees that every one of these people that comes in is the owner of this company. And it doesn't matter if they're a big farmer, a small farmer. It doesn't matter if they're a board member or not a board member. we treat them all the same, no matter how big or small. And that's what I expect out of my employees, and I expect twice as much out of myself. So that's probably what I try to instill the most in my employees and my staff.
Yeah. Jeff, thanks for joining us today and sharing more about what's happening in Nickerson. We appreciate everything you and your team do to serve our members and the community. That's all for today's episode of the Central Prairie Co-op Podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next location spotlight. Until next time, stay safe out there and have a great week.